Here we go. Back to on the come up. I just wanted to read this right here, the dedication part. But we're back here in South Bay. Got a nice view. I don't know if you guys can see it. It looks a lot better in real life. But you know, if you could just see how cool it looks up here. Looks great. Anyway, for the kids with SoundCloud accounts and the big dreams, I see you. And for my mom, who saw it in me first. So this person's real down to earth. They got it real cool. It's Angie Thomas. So I'm gonna give y'all a quick recap. And we'll try to. I wasn't gonna read this aloud. I was gonna try to make it towards the end, we're towards the end, but I mean like further and towards the end. Got about 100 pages left. That's pretty easy for me these days. But so basically, the last couple of chapters, Pooh ends up getting in contact with Bree, and she's not telling Bree what happened. Bree's wondering if she killed somebody or if what happened, where she's been, and she's not saying. And then they end up hanging out. And she kind of gets to be a car that is suspicious with dark windows, goes around the block a few times and parks near them. And she's trying to tell Bree to her best to make it out of the gardens. They call it the GDs, of the Garden Disciples. I guess that's what Pooh and them rep, and the other guys are the Crowns. And so basically, the person ends up jumping out, and a van pulls up, and it's the SWAT team, and Pooh gets caught with a bag of drugs, and she gets arrested, and now that's another thing wearing on Bree. She starts getting more and more stressed out and worried about stuff. Then the next chapter, or somewhere in between her and Curtis, this guy she was crushing on, Bree was they have their first kiss or something and all that silly stuff. And I believe the mother or the aunt, the other aunt or the mom, I believe, Curtis's grandmother is like giving them the funny eye and saying they need to talk because she's suspicious of them being at the crib, because they had to run home and lock themselves in the crib because Pooh was getting arrested by the SWAT team. And in the next chapter, they really challenge Bree. The guy Supreme takes her to a radio station, Hot 105, and he prepares her. He tells her to watch out because the guy, I think his name is Hype, that works at the radio station, is he's like a wise ass, and he's always gets under people's skin, and that would be a good way that the writer increases the intensity, or like the hypeness, I guess I would say, with the funny ironic name, coincidental name, that he gets under people's skin, and he is one of the somebody that's hard to deal with for artists that come in there all the time and get into heated debates with him. And it's like a fancy building in a skyscraper, and it's like a traditional radio station, record label type place with the artists on the walls and stuff. And he ends up getting under her skin. He comes at her about all the stuff that everyone's talking about how little kids are starting to like her song. She's starting to get a lot of recognition. Like she's like one of the hottest artists out, actually, somehow. She makes it like almost to like a lot of fame and views and stuff. And she was getting criticized by some people. Some people were supporting her, but the radio guy talks about how he challenges her and says, does she think that rapping about stuff like guns and this and that is like appropriate? And she's saying, she claims he's just getting to trying to talk too much trash. She's saying like if she raps about this type of stuff to get people rowdy, or to get people to like the music, rather than like some stuff that would be not as rappish, like rappers, that's a debate that probably still goes on, like a softcore debate about should rappers rap about the streets, or like an alleged character who's a gangster or somebody who can't be messed with, to kind of give people some like hypeness in their morale, or to say I just enjoy that category because it doesn't sound like country music or something. Or, should a person try to watch out for all that and avoid that type of stuff and just say I'd rather do something else? And that's, one of those things that's, always going to be, a joke that goes on. And he gets under her skin and she explodes on him and she has to leave and stuff like that. But it made the story like pretty good so far. And that's pretty much most of that. So I'm gonna try to at least read this chapter and say it was getting pretty good. So might as well. Here we go. I asked Supreme to take me to Sal's. I need my brother. Supreme's phone blows up the whole way. He can't stay still for bouncing in his seat. Who? He smacks the steering wheel like he's giving it a high five. We about to get paid, baby girl. I swear this is the best you've ever could have done. We on our goddamn way. Ratchet, hood rat, 3 words, 4 syllables. Everybody's gonna think I'm a hood rat, and that's good at being ratchet and blowing gaskets. The closed sign is on Big Sal's door when Supreme drops me off. It's still morning and the shop doesn't open until noon. Sal spots me peeking in through the glass and lets me in the shop anyway. She tells me that Trey's in the back. Again, Trey works there. And don't forget the writer was a former rapper as a teen turned novelist, so the lyrics are pretty cool. It's hard to say what Trey's position is at Sal's. Sometimes he waits tables, other times he oversees the orders in the kitchen. Today he mops the kitchen floor. Miss Kayla watches nearby. She wears the hoop earrings like she wore in the ring and a green apron. She's much smaller than she seemed in the ring, though. She doesn't even come to Trey's shoulder. I guess the mic makes her larger than life. They're the only two in the kitchen. Usually this place is bustling as employees toss pizza dough in the air, yell out orders, and slide pies into the oven. It's almost too quiet and still. Today, I guess everybody else's hasn't come in yet. Leave it to Trey to show up early. Trey rings the mop in the bucket and starts rolling the bucket toward the storage room. But Kayla goes, I know you're not leaving that floor looking like that. Like what? He says, like that. She points to a spot. There's dirt on the floor, Trey. He squints, that little speck. Kayla takes the mop herself. See, this is why you don't need to clean. Oh, I don't? Nope. Trey smiles as he sneaks a quick peck to her lips, but do I need to do that? She taps her chin. The jury's still out. Trey laughs and kisses her again. I'm probably not supposed to see this, but I can't look away. Not on some creeper stuff, but I haven't seen my brother this happy in a while. His eyes are bright and his smile is so wide when he looks at her that it's contagious. Not saying he was depressed or anything these past few months, but compared to how he is right now, it's hard to say he's been happy. Kayla looks away from him long enough to spot me in the doorway. Trey, he follows her gaze. The brightness leaves his eyes and the smile disappears. He focuses on mopping again. What are you doing here, Bree? I'm suddenly feeling like I shouldn't be here, and I've never felt like that around Trey. He's been my home when I wasn't sure what home was. Can we talk? I ask. He won't look up from mopping. Kayla takes his arm to stop him. Trey, she says firmly. He looks at her. There's an unspoken conversation between them. It's all in their eyes. Trey sighs out of his nose. Kayla stands on her tiptoes and kisses his cheek. I'm gonna go see if Sal needs help up front. She gives me this sad smile as she passes like somebody does when you're in mourning. What's that about, Pooh? Trey mops and it's like I'm invisible to him. Even as I inch closer, he doesn't look up. Is something wrong? I ask. I'm almost afraid to know, though. His response could turn my life even more upside down. It's Jay. Mom, he corrects, focused on the floor. He corrects, focused on the floor. I don't know why that word won't come easily for me. Is she okay? She was in her room when I left. Oh, messed up that I'm sort of relieved by that. Any word on Pooh? They're still processing her. What you want, Bree? What's that about? I've never had to explain why I wanted to see him before. I just wanted to talk to you. You haven't done enough talking today. It's a verbal slap of the worst kind. He heard the interview, one of the of people who listen in. I never considered that one might be my brother, Trey. I can explain. He sets the mob in a bucket and looks at me. Oh, so you have an explanation for acting a damn fool on the radio? He pushed my buttons. Didn't I tell you that you don't have to respond to everything, huh, Bree? I'm not gonna just take shit that's thrown at me. You can speak up for yourself without acting like that. He says, first that Instagram video, now this. What the hell is wrong with you? I state at this person who claims to be my brother. It looks like him, but it doesn't sound like him. You're supposed to have my back. I say just above a whisper, why are you so pissed at me? He damn near chuckles the mop because I'm busting my ass for you. I drag myself into this job for you. Work long hours to make sure you're good, and here you go ruining any shot you have at making any goddamn thing of yourself by showing your ass every chance you get. I'm just trying to save us. Somehow my voice is weak and loud all at once. The fury leaves his eyes and it's big. And it's my big brother staring at me again. Bree, I'm tired, Trey. Tears prickle my eyes. I'm tired of not knowing what's gonna happen next. I'm tired of being scared. I'm tired. There's a shuffling of feet and two arms wrap around me tightly. I bury my face in Trey's shirt. He rubs my back. Let it out. I scream until my throat is raw. I've lost Aunt Pooh. I may be losing my mom. I lost my cool so bad that I lost more than I realize. I'm lost. I'm so lost that I'm exhausted from trying to find my way. Trey leads me over to this little corner in the back of the kitchen that he calls his. Sometimes when I visit, I'll find him sitting on the floor over here, wedged between the refrigerator and storage room door. He says it's the one place he can get away from the chaos. Trey lowers himself to the floor and helps me sit down with him. I rest my head in his lap. I'm sorry, I'm a burden. Burden, Trey says, where you get that from? From our whole lives. When Jay first got sick, he would disappear into her room for days and on end. Trey couldn't reach into all of the kitchen cabinets, but he always made sure I ate. He'd comb my hair and get me ready for preschool. He was 10. He didn't have to do any of that. Then when we moved in with grandma and granddad, he still took care of me, insisting that he read me stories every night and walk me to and from school every day. If I had a nightmare about those gunshots that took Dad, Trey would run into my room and comfort me until I fell asleep. He gives up so much for me. The least I can do is make it so he doesn't have to give up anything else. You've always taken care of me, I say. A little bit, I do that because I want to. Trey says, a burden? Never. You're too much of a gift to me. Gift, one word, one syllable. I don't know if it rhymes with anything because it's a word I never thought could be used when it comes to me. Suddenly, it's as if a cage has been unlocked and all of these tears I've had stored up inside fall down my cheeks. Trey brushes them away. I wish you'd cry more. I smirk. Dr. Trey is back. I'm serious. Crying doesn't make you weak, Bree, and even if it did, there's nothing wrong with that. Admitting that you're weak is one of the strongest things you can do. I turn and look up at him. That sounds like something Yoda would say. Nah, Yoda would say weak. Strength is admitting you are. He kisses my cheek with a loud, sloppy moa. I quickly wipe the spot. I know I felt some of his spit. Ill, getting your germs all on me. Just for that, Trey kisses my cheek again, even louder and even sloppier. I squirm to get away, but yeah, I'm laughing too. He smiles at me. I know you think I've done a lot for you a little bit, but you've done just as much for me. I think about myself, I'd probably be where Pooh is right now. Damn, Aunt Pooh did say she became a GD because she didn't have anyone. Now she's in jail, in a jail cell without anyone record instead of a with a record instead of a diploma. I know there's so much else that made their lives turn out differently, but he makes it sound like the difference between them was me. Maybe it's not on me to save Aunt Pooh. Maybe it's on Aunt Pooh to save herself from me. Maybe it was. She's not getting out for a long time, huh? I ask. Probably not. What do we do? Live, he says. I mean, we're gonna support her through this, but you gotta remember that she made choices, Bree. She always knew there was a chance this would happen and did it anyway. This is on her. Period. The kitchen door opens just barely and Kayla peeks in. Trey, sorry to bother, but Sal needs to help with something up front. I take that as my cue to sit up. Trey stands and gives me a hand up, too. No more radio interviews, all right? He says having one DJ on my list is enough. What list? My ass whooping list. If I see him in the streets, I'm whooping his ass. I laugh as he kisses my cheek. Fact is, even when he's mad at me, even when he's so disappointed that he yells at me, my brother will always have my back.